So making it back again. It's going to be part 4 of the Phoenix Reloaded series. Pretty interesting because during this time, a lot of different things have happened. So we've had unfortunate pandemic through the world being COVID-19, and a lot of people have been affected, a lot of families, just a lot of people in general, and it's been crazy because when you think of all the goals that you work hard for and all of the blood, sweat, and tears as an athlete, thinking that, you know, everything is going to go your way when you do every workout, when you do every sand dune, every jump shot, every dribble, you know it's going to go your way. And this kind of put a damp in everybody's plans. So pre-COVID, before a lot of different things started happening, I was at UPB. I was here just working, doing what I could do for Pat and for the company, the gym, working out, helping mentor the kids. And I thought that I saw an opportunity when I came back from Australia that, you know, something crazy, maybe I could link up with a G League team. So I kind of went around seeing what was going on, and that's when I kind of started talking to Juan a little bit more. Juan was in a very, very solid position, being on the G League squad for, this would have been his second year, and he was playing pretty well. So I had a feeling that he would get moved up. And when he got moved up, I asked him, I was like, hey, what do you think one of the things I should do to, you know, try to pursue this dream of continuing to play? And he said, just show your face. I had a similar call with Mike Franco telling me to just let them know that you're there. So I kind of decided to go to Santa Cruz every weekend, see if I could kind of sneak in the gym, got friendly with all the coaches, all the players, and then it was a blessing that Kiwi signed. So when Kiwi signed, he just said, hey, just come down and stay with me, and we'll figure everything else out. And Kiwi knew that not only did I want to help and be around him, be around the organization, but I wanted to play. I wanted to show everybody that I was going to work as hard as I could to maybe get a roster spot or even just a practice squad spot. Just like being in college all over again and being a redshirt freshman or, you know, just a walk-on. That's the approach that I took. So every day, if you know the Santa Cruz Stadium, there are bleachers, and I would sit in the bleachers during practice. And I would say every like 10 minutes, I would inch closer and closer to the court. So God bless Big Bro, when Steph came for that one day, they needed an extra. And what I happened to do was I put myself on the court. It was like, hey, I'm available. And then Coach Williams told me, he was like, hey, just sign this out. You'll be an official practice player. And you know, your first day is gonna be with Steph. And you know, that's Big Bro, so I was pretty happy with that. I was like, okay, if I'm on the same court as Steph and these talented G League guys, I got a shot at doing something. So, you know, I didn't have to do anything that day. That just kind of proved that you kind of stick around, kind of move closer, make sure you have a goal intact and know what you want to do. You're going to find a way to get there. So pretty much a couple months later, I spent on my own dime to travel around with the team. So, you know, I'm going to road games. I'm sitting close to the home team or visiting team's bench. I'm trying to see what plays are being called. I was just a real student, real observer, and like I have Kiwi to thank for that, because without him saying that, you know, just come in and kind of make your move, and we'll see what we can do. I want to have been an official practice player with the Santa Cruz Warriors. Something that I could honestly say was one of my happiest days of my life. Just because, like I said, when you move a little bit closer to your dreams, you see something happening. And when COVID hit, I had a couple thoughts and a couple talks with coaches that there was a possibility that maybe I could sign, or maybe I could play the remaining 6 games. We were kind of in the playoff hunt, about to play the big game in San Francisco at Chase. And like, it was just like a dream, like, man, what if I signed, and what if I put on that jersey? I get to be in Chase again, or just something else. Like, just dreaming big. Like, a lot of people are going to tell you that dreams are dreams, but when you put action to them, it can become a reality. And I feel like I was putting action to it, and I still am. So as of today, it's just working out as much as I can, being on the sand, being on the stairs, conditioning, shooting a lot of jump shots, making sure that I'm counting my makes, trying to get as many as I can during the day. It was interesting because pre-COVID, like I said, when I came back from Australia, working at UPB was a blessing, and is a blessing. As many times as I could be in here, just having a gym and having access with P and what Pat's done, I can't really explain, but I know that when I step in here, I have a home. So just being here beforehand, just working out every day, and him basically telling me like Chris, I think that you should go to Santa Cruz. I think you should try to see how far you can take it, was pretty big. And you gotta imagine me being at a UPB for about 3-4 years when it first started, before there were paint on the floor and the sign in the back, and like just grinding to see how far it came today. To see what Pat and Bianca have done kind of made me think like, that could be a part of you. Like, you could do that at a different pace. And I feel like Santa Cruz Overseas is my pace. So right now, that's the goal, that's the objective, is to get that feeling of me being a practice player and wanting to work my way all the way up to get a jersey, because I believe I could do it. Not only do I know I could do it, I put the work in to do it. And I think that at first it was a shot for everybody to kind of see, like, Chris works hard, and like I think that he'll be able to make a team, and it was for everybody's kind of say so, but this is for me. I realized that I could do everything I can for people, but the one time I can't, it's going to be hard. So me accomplishing my goals and getting to the next level, that's for me and solely nobody else. I want to see myself in the jersey. I want to see myself playing. I know that I could play at the next level, and I think part of this documentary is to show that you might not be that top recruit, but as long as you put the work in, as long as you're working every day and continuing to try to build upon something, then you're going to make it happen. The summer of 2016 was pretty big for me. I reunited with the Oakland Bulldogs. We had a team back in the day. I believe we were like 19th in the nation in like the 7th grade. This was like my first piece of AAU ball, and seeing great players that I never would have saw if I hadn't been introduced to the Bulldogs. Years later, Doc put together like an adult league team. So this team is playing all over the Bay Area and places like that, and I'm just like, man, like I didn't even know this existed. Playing at TASA, some of the highlight tapes that I kind of put together was playing in competitive leagues when people would come back from college, and I wasn't exposed to that. I didn't even know that existed, and I got Doc to thank for that again, being reunited with the Bulldogs. And through that, I met Church, Joseph Truehill, Church. This is, you don't want to use the term mentor or role model loosely, especially for people that you consider brother or somebody that is in your age gap. But this dude, man, he helped me out a whole lot. Once he kind of branched away from the Bulldogs, me and him built the bond, and we started playing together. So the team, the gang that we got, just going around playing in these different leagues, it kept me alive. It kept that passion going. So when we're playing in these games, and I'm going back to Rainbow and I'm going back to Brookfield and playing, and it's because of church, I'm like, man, like, who would have thought I would have been doing this again? And I got nothing but love for church, because he keeps it real. He'll tell you when you're doing something wrong, but Big Bro was like that coach that I always wanted. So when I played with the Oakland Bayhawks, DeAndre Petit was, man, he was everything that I would have wanted in my high school or college coach. He just let me rock, had the ball in my hand, let me make mistakes, knew how hard I worked, and it worked out. And church is the same way. It's just like, bro, like sometimes you're too unselfish. Sometimes you need to shoot more. Sometimes you need to just work on your game. And if I didn't have that, I don't know how much confidence I would have had going into the workouts in Norway, the league in Australia, or even going to Czech. I don't know where it would have came from. But just having a mentor and the mentorship of him made a big difference in how I approach every day and what I was trying to do. And I got church to thank for that. I could never take anything away from what we built. And I want to continue to keep doing what basically he did for me, for others. So when I come in the gym, I'm expecting everybody to work. So with church being that big mentor, that big brother to me, I kind of take that and try to apply it in my life. So when kids come in, I hope they're ready to work, because I'm gonna be on them, just like church is on me, just like our limb is on me. And I want to try to bring that into my everyday practice, because I'm only as great as the next person that I'm helping. So of course I want to still do my thing. Of course I want to play and I want to accomplish all my goals, but I can't express the joy that I get out of helping somebody else reach their goal. I can't explain it. It's just it's like seeing yourself at that age, learning things that you wish somebody would have told you. Something about the Bay Area that I love and have a hate relationship with is that our athletes, not a lot of them can give back, maybe like they want to, for whatever reason. I see Marshawn all the time. Gary Payton has done some things. I know Jason Kidd has done some things. And Dame is a big part of the East. He comes back and he'll let you know it. But if I'm in a position and if I know maybe the guys that went high-level D1 college could come back when we're playing games and kind of talk to them about some things that they could change and not belittle them, that's kind of the best advice that you could give. You want to give people confidence, especially when maybe your confidence was taken or your confidence was kind of shifted when you were younger. I know I've had a lot of battles going back to pro-ams or high school or college where there were people that I kind of let them mess with my confidence. One story I could think about is the pro-am game that we had last year. Man, I was looking forward to playing this year because I was just in a different mindset. But going back to last year, my coach, awesome guy, really good dude, he started giving me high school vibes where I sat out my last 10 games for no reason, pretty much. And when I'm sitting out in a pro-am game and I got people coming to watch me play that haven't seen me play in years, it's almost embarrassing. It kind of messes with your confidence. You kind of have an open shot. You don't know whether to take it. And this is pro-am. This is where people are supposed to get better and have fun. If you see my face in the locker room, I'm kind of like, man, I don't want to be here because my confidence is shot. And those are the situations you want to stay out of. So when I left there, I was like, I'm not going to let this happen. And me going to Santa Cruz that first day of practice, when I was with Steph and Jonathan Simmons and Kiwi, and everybody like Ryan stepping in the first day I signed. I took the first shot I had open and I knocked it down, and it's just like, you know, what can you do with that confidence? It only builds you up, and it's infectious. One thing about the G League is everybody's trying to get to the league. You know, you're not necessarily stepping over people's toes, but you want to be the best that you can be, and that's getting your shots. That's making sure that you do everything you can to showcase to the scouts that you're the best. So you can imagine the practices are intense and hectic. And one thing I commend Santa Cruz for and the culture was that I stepped in with them knowing nothing about me, and they treated me like I could imagine like church treats me, like Lim treats me. They're just like, man, keep going, hit that shot, go ahead and make a play. They could have easily been like, man, who is this guy? Why is he here? We could go sign somebody else that's played in the league, that's trying to get back in the G and trying to do that 10-day thing. They gave me nothing but confidence, and it was awesome. It was like, damn, why couldn't I get this in the pro am? Why couldn't I get this in high school? Why couldn't I get this in 7th grade when I was sitting the bench and, you know, I didn't know much about basketball and nobody really wanted to take a chance on me. And they didn't have to do that. And that's why I was really happy with the result of Santa Cruz, because it wasn't just about the basketball portion. I was playing well. Every practice, every workout, I showed up. I asked questions. I wasn't afraid. And they treated me like family. They treated me like somebody who they know wants to work, and they didn't have to. Like I said, with Juan, knowing that he was going to get moved up, just having a feeling, not necessarily knowing, but having a feeling that he was going to get moved up, I was like, I could do everything that he does. Just play as hard as I can, make that extra pass, get a rebound, dive on the floor in practice. And I know a lot of people might be looking at me like, he's happy about signing for a practice squad? Like, hell yeah, I am. Like, why wouldn't I be? This is an opportunity that not a lot of people get. How many people can say that they were on the floor with Yusuf Nurkic coming back down from Portland, and he's in the bubble making things happen with Dame, or big bro Steph just doing his thing and coming back for a day, coming off of 3 championships and 2 MVPs. You know, that was big for me, and I was happy about that. One of my proudest moments, and I'll never knock that. So for anybody that wants to try to make it to the next level, it's always baby steps. Like I stated earlier, every day I would just get closer until they finally brought me on the court, and I didn't look back. I stayed on the court. I stayed after practice, before practice. I was helping Kiwi get shots up. Before the games, I'm on the court, and I couldn't explain it. That was my schedule, and I loved it. And that's what I want to chase for. I want to try to chase that excellence for the next year going into it, wherever I'm at. Wherever I'm playing, that's how hard I need to work if I want to try to make it to that next level. And I think something about me is showing that resiliency, just being resilient and not letting nobody tell me that I can't do something, because I believe those days are over. And I'm always up for constructive criticism. I love constructive criticism, but nobody's gonna knock me off my pivot. I've seen where I can be, I've seen where I can get, and I want to continue to chase that. You think I should talk about like Lim a little more?
Yeah.
You think that part of the church was good?
It was good. I like it.
Okay, Lim. So I'm gonna talk about Lim, closing. Yeah, and then I remember talking with Lim. It's funny because that day, that first day I signed to be a practice player, and I played with Steph, Lim and the Warrior Camp. Folks had a clinic in Santa Cruz that they were doing. So I met them at a restaurant. I saw the car. Actually, I saw the car. I wasn't even supposed to meet them. I saw the car out front, and I knew that they were in the restaurant, so I kind of poked up on them, and I told them, I was just like, yeah, bro, it's official. Like, it was my first day, and, you know, the joy that my brother, my best friend had for me was just like, I want to see that again. It's like, damn, like he was really that proud of me. And we talked about it, and he was just like, bro, just like keep your foot on the pedal. You know how everything transpires and everything happens for a reason. And he was the one that told me, he was just like put a brick down every day. And that really stuck with me because me and Lim have seen the best days of hoop and the worst days of hoop. And when he decided to give it up, it was kind of weird, at least give up playing at a high level. It was kind of weird because he was the one that introduced me to basketball, him and his dad. And I remember waking up at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, going with them. We did the Breakfast Club, what Jordan was doing with Pippen and Ron Harper. And ever since then, like I was addicted. So for him to see my basketball come full circle, basketball life come full circle, it was pretty cool. That the first person that I saw after playing my first kind of practice squad scrimmage was him. It was almost like fate, you know, for your big brother, for somebody you consider a role model, to see you growing and see you doing what you love to do and what we have loved to do since kids, since we were young. That meant everything. So I really take what he says and the things that church say into consideration because, like I said, I want to be great, and you're only as great as the people around you. So if they want to see me win, I have no choice but to win. Yeah, so going back to everything that's happening in this pandemic, it's pretty different. I don't think we've ever experienced anything like this. So the best advice that I was given was to live every day like it's your last. You know, because you never know what's going to happen to you in the future. I lost my aunt to COVID, and it was kind of weird because you never know if it's COVID, if it's something else, regardless of what happened. Her not being here was like going through this. So I have every day to live for, and I have every day to improve and be great. And everything that comes with that, it really works. It works in your favor when you put that energy in there. So I think the goals for the rest of 2020 and 2021 is not just to leave this year in the past, to learn from it. So being safe, wearing the mask, making sure that your loved ones know that you're thinking about them is going to be pretty important for me because every day I wake up, I'm like, all right, I know that I'm closer. And once I reach a certain goal, I know I'm going to want more. But I sometimes have to take it back and be present in what I'm doing. And I think right now that is exactly how I'm trying to live every day with everything going on. Real quick, I just wanted to give a big shout out to everybody that's going through something right now. We have a opportunity to come out of it stronger than we ever have. And I think that one of the best things that we could do is make sure that our mental is strong. So some things that I'm doing, just taking breathing exercises and doing MVPs with Pat or Mike Franco and the Mental Buckets crew, is making sure that, you know, I could do all the training that I want. I could run as many hills as I want. I could shoot as many jumpers as I want. I could play as many games as I want. But if my mental isn't there, nothing's gonna matter. And I think that's important for everybody, regardless of what you're doing. We gotta try to make sure that our mental is sharp and that we are counting our blessings every day. That's the best advice I could give. And, you know, like I said, 2020, you still have some time to make things happen, so why not now? That's kind of like the motto that I want to live by, and that's what I want to continue to keep doing. I just want to, like I said, give a shout out and give a prayer to everybody that's going through something, because you have the opportunity to be great. And just like me, and people around me, we want to see you win. So I want to see myself win. I want to see everybody in my circle win, and I think that that's happening. We're taking the right steps every day, and we got to keep it going, keep doing that.
They wanna know what's on my brain, huh? They wanna know how I deal with all the pain, huh? Well, let me tell you, I know this, blessed, but all the while I can't focus, I'm stressed. We came too far to still be going through this mess. Keeping the sounds, I feel like all this shit a test. So in due time, I'm gon' get mine, you gon' get yours, and they'll get theirs too. That 40 acres in them, your shit is past due. Rag good, I keep dripping all this sauce. Family business can't be bought. Independence, I'm the boss. Gotta fucking feel me chasing this chicken, even if it kills me. And even then, I'ma win. It ain't nothing really, swear to God.
Ain't nothing to play with. Ain't got no time, cause my gift is sacred. I hate to claim it, I just won't